The Night in the Wood by John Warren, 3rd Baron De Tabley, 1835 to 1895. The thing itself was rough and crudely done, cut in coarse stone, spitefully placed aside as merest lumber, where the light was worse, on a back staircase. Overlooked it lay in a great Roman palace crammed with art. It had no number in the list of gems, weeded away, long since pushed out and banished, before insipid Guidos over-sweet and Dolce's rose sensationalities, and curly chirping angels, spruce as birds. And yet the motive of this thing, ill-hewn and hardly seen, did touch me. Oh, indeed, the skillless hand that carved it had belonged to a most yearning and bewildered brain. There was such desolation in the work, and through its utter failure the thing spoke with more of human message, heart to heart, than all these faultless, smirking, skin-deep saints in artificial troubles picturesque, and martyred sweetly, not one curl awry. Listen, a clumsy knight who rode alone upon a stumbling jade in a great wood belated. The poor beast with head low bowed, snuffling the treacherous ground. The rider leant forward to sound the marish with his lance. You saw the place was deadly, that doomed pair, the wretched rider and the hide-bound steed, feared to advance, feared to return. That's all. Okay, this is a poem by John Warren. Let's see. His father was a British Liberal politician. John Warren was a poet. He's best known as a poet. He was also a botanist and a coin collector and an authority on book plates. So, what's this about? Well, this is about the night in the wood. Let's see, the speaker, which I guess is John Warren, he comes across a statue of a knight, a stone statue of a knight, and I think perhaps it's a medieval statue. And this, let's see, Warren is walking through some Roman villa or some house in Rome, which is full of the most beautiful items, and this catches his eye because it's so bad, it's so sad. it catches his heart because it's full of humanity, the humanity of the person that made it, who wasn't a very good sculptor, and the knight who was down at heel. Things weren't very good for him, and he's lost in some marshy wood in the middle of nowhere, and he's in this place full of beautiful masterpieces and artworks, and this bad statue of the night in the wood is something that speaks to him. It speaks to his soul, the humanity of it, because all of the other things are in this place are perfect and beautiful. So let's go through. The thing itself was rough and crudely done. So this is the statue. The statue was crudely made, cut in coarse stone. So the stone that it was made, the statue was made from, wasn't very good. It was coarse. It was low quality. spitefully placed aside as merest lumber, where the light was worst on a back staircase. So somebody had looked at this thing and said, ugh, what a horrible statue. And with spite, with anger, with a bit of hatred, they'd put it on somewhere where it was badly lit so you could hardly see it. And it was like it was just a piece of wood, a block of wood, a piece of a tree. It was merest lumber, so it had been hidden away somewhere in the back. Overlooked it lay in a great Roman palace crammed with art. So this statue was in a Roman palace that was full of the most beautiful art, most fantastic things. So I get the feeling John Warren is doing the grand tour, and he's looking at the beautiful things in this place. It had no number in the list of gems, weeded away, pushed out and banished. So the list of gems is the list of all the beautiful artworks in this building, and I'm sure that this place has got pictures by Botticelli, or it's got one, or by Canaletto, or this palace has the most beautiful pictures, and each of these are numbered on the list of gems. But this statue's not numbered. It doesn't have a number. It's not worth a number. Weeded away long since, pushed out and banished. So this had been taken out of the collection because it was bad quality. It wasn't the best, and it had been taken away out of the collection long since and pushed away onto this back staircase, banished, where nobody would really notice it or remember it. Banished before insipid Guidos over-sweet and Dolce's rose sensationalities. Now I've had quite a problem, quite a time with this Guido and Dolce, but I think this is referring to a style of writing, Dolce still novel, which was invented by Guido Guinzelli, and this is effectively the 13th century. So this has been pushed out, it's been got rid of long ago, but this is from the early Middle Ages, perhaps the 12th century is the idea. And curly chirping angels, spruce as birds. So this statue is from a time long gone. This is from 1,000 years ago. And yet the motive of this thing, ill-hewn and hardly seen, did touch me. So this thing, to hew is to cut. So this badly carved statue touched my heart. It made me feel the humanity of it. Oh, indeed, the skillless hand that carved it had belonged to a most yearning and bewildered brain. So the skillless hand that carved it, the hand that the sculptor was not very good, and this person had wanted to do something good. They yearned to be good, but they were confused. They didn't know what they were doing. So clearly this statue had been made by a bad artist. Yes, it was 1,000 years old, but it had been made by a bad artist. There was such desolation in the work. So the work made him feel desolation. It gave this feeling of emptiness. And through its utter failure, the thing spoke with more of human message, heart to heart, than all these faultless, smirking, skin-deep saints. And the fact that this statue was an utter failure, it was badly done, it was a bad thing, it had humanity in it, it spoke more, it gave more of a human message, it spoke heart to heart. Here was a bad sculptor doing his best to make something look good, and it was much more real than all of these perfect, smirking, smiling, skin-deep saints. So clearly this this house, or this museum, this place, is full of statues of the most beautiful saints who are absolutely perfectly made, and they're smiling. But this is only something superficial. And that this statue has got to John Warren's heart. He actually feels the humanity of it, rather than all these perfect saints. All of these perfect saints in artificial troubles, picturesque, and martyred sweetly, not one curl awry. So all of these saints who've been martyred, who've been killed, but sweetly, and everything, all of their curls are in perfect place, and everything is picturesque, and the picturesque death of these saints. But the statue, this statue is sad and depressing and bad quality, and it's much more human. Listen, and now he's going to describe it. A clumsy knight who rode alone on a stumbling jade in a great wood belated. So we've got a clumsy knight. So he's not a good knight. He's not very agile. And he's riding on a tripping jade. A jade is an old horse that's no longer really good to ride. And in a great wood, he's in a great wood belated. I think this belated gives the meaning of rather stupid, of slow and unintelligent, lacking sophistication, backward. So we've got a clumsy backward knight who's riding on a useless old horse in a wood. The poor beast, so he feels empathy for the horse, with head low bowed, snuffling the treacherous ground. So the horse is sniffing the treacherous ground. The ground is not hard, and he could easily fall. The rider leant forward to sound the marish with his lance. So the knight has leant forward, and he's poking the marish, the bog, the marsh, with his lance to see if his horse can actually walk upon it. You saw the place was deadly. So you could see that the place where this knight and his horse was deadly, that they were certain to die in this place. That doomed pair, the wretched rider and his hide-bound steed. So that they are doomed. They're not going to live much longer. Their death is clearly here in this wood, in this marshy wood. The wretched rider and his hide-bound. In this case, I think hide-bound is used to mean he's stupid, he's stingy, he's terrible, he's bad horse. They feared to advance. They feared to go on. They feared to return. So it's like they're stuck in this wood. They're stuck in time. And for James Warren, this is John Warren. This is all much more alive. It has much more meaning than all of these beautiful statues of beautiful, perfect saints in beautiful, perfect positions. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. The Night in the Wood by John Warren.